Is nothing ever your fault? Do you make excuses for your actions? Welcome to Be a Better Person, a channel all about self-discovery, self-love, making ourselves a better person so that we can make other people better and we can make our interactions with those people a lot better. Today's topic, excuses. So like always, remember that I just talk about things that I believe and I feel. Maybe sometimes I'm not coming up with some points or thinking about some things that I should be thinking about. These are things that all work for me. What works for me might not work for you. So keep that in mind as we watch, and hopefully we can explore, make sure that we feel like we're not the only ones and that we're not alone, and that we can just grow and become better people and understand things. So excuses are things that everyone has for not being accountable for ourselves. We don't be honest with ourselves, and we make excuses to try and avoid our flaws and our misgivings. First and foremost, you need to not make excuses to yourself, and you need to be honest with yourself, and you need to be accountable to yourself. Now, it is also important to do those same things with other people, but until you can do them with yourself fully, it's hard to do it with other people. So always start with yourself. Stop making excuses. Take accountability. The choices you make are yours alone and no one else's. We have to own what we do, good, bad, or indifferent. So I want to talk about a few of the things that were really terrible with me in my youth, and I think that I've overcome some of them. All these things I talk about does not mean I've perfected and I'm great at any of them. I still make the mistakes every single day. I still find myself occasionally making an excuse for why I didn't do something instead of just saying, I was lazy. I would much have rather sat and watched this basketball game than to actually go do the work that I should have done. There's lots of things that I've said that are important to me, but then I don't ever do any of them. So again, I make an excuse. So once you're honest with yourself, you can kind of start seeing these things and catch yourself so that you're not doing them. So the first things I want to talk about is when I was younger, trying to be perfect, trying to always be right, thinking that that was something that was possible. But again, in our naivety, youth, those things happen. But yeah, I just always wanted to be perfect, always wanted to be right, didn't understand why people didn't think the way that I thought, because my way must be the only way. Instead, I started finding out that, again, I made excuses. The biggest thing too was always scared to fail, and no matter what, and going up and talking to a girl and trying something new because I might be embarrassed or I might not be good enough or that I might make a mistake. And the worst part is we need to get used to having no said to us. The more you have no said to you, the more you can understand that it's not always about you why somebody said no. Especially as being a salesperson, which I've been the majority of my life, is don't take no's personal. Because your stuff doesn't fit them, maybe your personality doesn't fit them, maybe they're just so loyal to somebody else that they don't even want to see your stuff. Has nothing to do with you. Doesn't mean that you did a terrible job. But another thing about being scared to fail is making mistakes and realizing that mistakes are the only way you learn. You're never going to learn if you don't make mistakes. And if you got to own the mistakes and you got to say, it's okay. What can I learn from this mistake to make sure I don't make it over again? So those are some things that and we need to teach kids that right from an early age, that it's okay to fail. But why did we fail? Maybe we didn't take time to study. Maybe we found other things that we thought were more fun to do. Maybe we didn't think it was important enough to study because we'll never use it ever again. Those are things that we have to understand. It's okay. Let's learn why and let's move on. Time. Oh, that is the biggest excuse that everyone uses every single day. And again, the quicker you realize how important your time is, you only have so much of it on this earth and we never know when it's going to expire, that we try to use the excuse that we didn't do stuff because we don't have enough time for it. And again, it's either not important to us because we didn't find the time, but we try to pretend that it's important to us. So going back to being honest with yourself, no, this is just isn't important to me because I didn't find the time. Or I was lazy, especially if it's work related or trying to fix something around your house, There's plenty of time for me to fix the broken lawnmower. I just don't feel like doing it, so I make an excuse. Oh, I didn't have enough time. I had all this to do. I had all that to do. You have time. It's just about how important it was for you to find the time to do it. So stop making that excuse. I still catch myself doing it. And sometimes I don't make an excuse. I just say, I don't feel like it. I feel like doing this, and I'll put that off till tomorrow because it's not going to be life or death if I don't fix it today. But at least I'm honest with myself and I don't make the excuse of time. I have the time. I choose not to do that thing. So what's changed? So again, I think as you get older, you start realizing you're not invincible. You start realizing that there is limited amounts of time. You start trying to use that time better. And not everyone's like this, because again, I'm not here to judge or say anything. Again, if you just want to binge Netflix for the rest of your life, who am I to say that's better than going out and learning how to garden, how to bungee jump, everybody's got their own thing that they want to do. But again, what's important to you? Don't lie to yourself about it, and let's decide what is. So yeah, mostly age, learning that I don't have always that much time. And then I just think that improving yourself every day, I think it makes you a better person when you can realize that you can only control the things that you can control, and stop judging, stop procrastinating, stop being scared to fail. I almost said scared. Being scared to fail. So a lot of things that I've done now in my time is I will a lot of times, this is mainly work things, but I take responsibility even sometimes when stuff's not my fault. Not because I don't want the person to learn, but because they're my team, they're my people. I want to back them and support them. We'll have a private conversation maybe about why whatever happened, but I will take responsibility, or at least co-responsibility for the error, maybe even if it wasn't my co-fault. So, but I do that a lot of times. And then when there's praise, when there's good things that happen, I always, my team first. I might have something to do with it, but it's my team first and foremost, because I can't do anything without them. Just like in my life, I can't do anything without the help of my wife. She's my team, my kids, they're my team. Having conversations with them and their support is a big reason why I think that I'm successful, and that I think that I am happy because of them. I've gotten way better at admitting my faults. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I always like to see, in our climate, in this world right now, a lot of people just go, I'm going to unfollow you, or I'm going to not. I want to always listen to another side or opinion, because how can you ever change if you don't see things from the other side? If I can't understand why they think the way that I think is wrong, how can we ever get any place in this world? And I think what we focus on too much is finding differences instead of, hey, let's start with finding the one thing we can agree on, and then maybe we can go from there. So again, it's just saying, I want to be accountable, and I want to be honest with myself. I want to admit my mistakes and my failures. I don't want to make excuses for why the way I am, or why I do things the way I do. I want to be honest, completely 100% with myself and to others about these things. If you are okay with mistakes and failures, then I think you'll stop making excuses. And so another thing that, just again on a personal note, something that I kind of always wanted to do, I took a class on acting in college. And ever since then, I made the excuse that I didn't have enough time to ever go forward. And so again, I started saying to myself, well, is this something that I ever really wanted to try or not try? Probably the biggest time is when I lived in Manistee. They have the beautiful Ramsdale Theater, which I could have possibly acted on if I would have taken the time to just go try out. But again, I didn't have time. And mainly I think it was because I was scared of failure. I was scared of putting myself out there. I was scared of doing something that was uncomfortable. So I finally recently saw something on Facebook about auditions. I went to the audition, I got the part, and I am going to actually be performing. So we'll see if it's something I enjoy and I like. To this point, we've had some rehearsals. I do like it, but we'll find out when I'm actually in front of people. But I just finally said I have time. I'm not going to be scared of failing. And we'll see if it's something I like and I want to continue on doing, or I at least tried something that was uncomfortable, did it, and then move on. But no excuses about time or whatever other excuse popped into my little brain, probably mostly scared of failure. So what are some excuses you've used? Do you make excuses all the time? What are these excuses? Are you working on trying to stop making excuses? Are you making sure that you love yourself fully and completely, and that it's okay to fail, and that you are going to be honest with yourself about why you make these excuses? How do you stop making excuses? Do you have a process? Is life better without excuses? And are you better without excuses? And without these excuses, do you make others better? So please write maybe some things that you think about excuses that I have maybe not touched on. And remember, your smile makes me smile. Be kind, be grateful, be helpful. Until next time, have a great day.